Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz. It's time for episode 44 of What's in My Tumbler. We are going to start out with the rainbow tiger that is in stage 3 this week, and I'm going to go ahead and address that, yes, this video is coming out a little later than normal. This has been a crazy week. Actually, these rocks tumbled a day longer than normal, so these went an 8-day cycle. They also were in a bath for a full 24 hours because I just had so much going on I could not get to them. So there's also, this video is not up to my normal standard because I just needed to get it done and get it out, but everybody in my house is sick, so this is what we're doing. All right, so you saw me do the rinse on this rainbow tiger. Now I am just doing a check before putting them in the bath to see if anything is chipped or broken. And I'm just checking the bigger rocks. I'm not looking at any of the smaller ones. So then I'm going to get everything put into this bath, the burnishing, not the burnishing cycle, but the cleaning cycle. Especially since I have the resin filler in here, I want to make sure that I get as much grit out of this as possible. So we are going to get some borax in here. And then we are going to get these going. And typically I only run a cleaning cycle for a few hours, but due to everything going on, these went for a full 24 hours, actually a little longer than that. So these are going to be a little clean. Now what this does mean is that because I do my changing over on the same day every week, that this is going to have a shorter cycle. It's only going to have like a 5-day cycle this week for me to get a video out next week. So what I will possibly do if these are not shiny, because these are going into stage 4 this week, if I don't like the finish on them, I'll just put them into the polish for another week because they're not getting quite as much polishing as I normally would do because everything going on. So we'll see. I might have to do a second cycle. So, but that's totally fine. And that's something that I'm aware is going to potentially be a problem. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but you never know. So this is me sorting out all of the resin. Remember, you cannot move resin up through your stages with your rocks. And I do have some fairly small bits of resin in here. So I am just picking out what I can find. Anything that's too small that I can't see at this stage, I am not worried about. But I am trying to get the bigger pieces out. So this has now been cleaned. That resin is going to get put off to the side to dry before I put it back in its container. And now this is my stage 4 resin that I am putting in there for filler in this stage. So this is going to be stage 4, like I said, of the rainbow tiger. I'm very excited. I've been looking forward to this tiger's eye coming out of polish. So we're going to do our tablespoon-ish of borax and then 3 tablespoons of polish. And then that is going to go on the tumbler. Would normally be for 7 days. It's actually going to be for 5. And we'll see how they look at the end of those 5 days. 7 to 10 is usually recommended, so if I do another 7-day cycle, it's not a big deal. Moving on to whatever is left. This is the mixed batch of rocks. Who knows how this is going to end up in the end. These are coming out of stage 2. And there's a lot of different types of rocks in here. So, and I know there's a mix of hardnesses as well. There's even some rocks I don't even know what they are. So, who knows how these are going to turn out. I've said it before in the past. I'm expecting some of these to not shine, some of them to be shiny. These are kind of rocks I've either collected from outside or were left over from other batches. So it is going to be an interesting thing to see how they turn out. So again, I am checking to see if anything is chipped or broken. I don't see anything, but I also don't like quite the level that this is at. It's okay for a cleaning cycle. It's on the lower end of 2/3 full. So I'm actually going to, once I get it out of this cleaning cycle, I'm going to put some filler in there to fill it up, because especially in pre-polish and polish, I like to make sure that I have my barrels a little more on the full side to 3/4 full rather than the 2/3 full, because I feel like that gives you a better shine, in my opinion. I'm not going to say that's true for every batch of rocks and for everybody. That's just what I like to do. And my mind was not on this. I don't know why. I just dumped those out on the towel. It's not a big deal, but I meant to dump them into the barrel. But anyway, that is just kind of an example of my head is not in what I'm doing right now. So this is me adding in the filler media. I've said it before, my media has all been tumbled all the way through stage 4. So I can add it in at any stage that I want because it's already been through stage 4. And then it will stay with these rocks until they come out of stage 4. I'm not going to pull them out early because I like to make sure that I have media I can add in stage 3 if I need to. So this is whatever's left going into stage 3, again, for 5 days. I'm not going to worry about what they look like after 5 days. We're just going to put them into polish next week. All right, this is the Blood Tree Agate, which is Green Tree Agate and Bloodstone mixed together. That was a mix that I did last week to put these into stage 2. I believe these are in stage 2 now. Oh no, they were in stage 1. So they are going into stage 2. So this is me sorting. And again, I didn't have time to edit in the second camera angle, so I apologize that you're not getting those close-ups that I normally would have. Just has not been a week where I can spare the time to do the extra editing to provide that. I did shoot it. I just didn't have time to edit it in. So at the end of the day, I had enough of stage 2 ready rocks to start a stage 2 barrel. So that's what's in the cup is stage 2 ready rocks. So they go in, and then I'm going to put the stage 1 ready rocks into that cup with some water to keep them wet. And so I just topped up the water there. I'm going to do a cleaning cycle on these because these rocks are very dirty. And then we're going to, again, they did the cleaning cycle for more than 24 hours. Typically, I only personally do it for about 8. But some people do up to 48 hours. But doesn't hurt it to go that long, but you can see how gray that foam is. That is an indication that these really did need a good bath. So got them all cleaned out. And then since they've already been checked, I don't need to check to see if they're broken because they literally were just checked. So we are going to just dump those into the barrel. And then I forgot the order of things. I put in the borax, then realized I usually put in water first. The order that you do this doesn't matter. I've seen some people say that you'll get slurry in the bottom of your barrel if you do it out of order, if you put your water in last. I don't believe that because this is now going to go roll on its side for 5 days. Any settling that happens at this point is going to be moot in probably an hour. So I don't think that that is an issue at all. But some people swear that that's why you get settling and not that oh yeah, I forgot to put the colander in the barrel in the pot here. I forgot I didn't do that. Yeah, this is just a week that has not been going well, but yeah, so people will say that if you know when you are rinsing out multiple barrels, the ones at the end will tend to have some slurry at the bottom because it settles really quickly. And there are people that swear that that's because when you loaded the barrel a week ago, it's because you did grit and then water, and the water washed the grit down to the bottom of the barrel, which, yes, that does happen, but then you put it on its side and roll it for a week. So it's not a big deal. So again, checking these rocks to see if there's anything broken, anything that I need to be concerned about. I'm not looking at the little tiny ones. Anything that's the size of my media, I'm not at all concerned about. I did find a couple of pieces of resin in there that I weren't aware was in there, so I pulled those out. And now we're going to do the water and do the cleaning cycle. So 3 tablespoons of borax to clean these off. And then once they come out, they'll be going into stage 3. So I will have next week possibly the tiger's eye coming out of polish. If not that next week, then it'll be the week after. And the week after next, we will have the whatever's left and the bloodstone also coming out of polish, final polish. And then the week after that will be the blood tree agate, as I'm calling it. So this came out of that. They weren't all that dirty. That foam didn't look too bad to me. But it is still a really good idea to do a wash cycle after each of your stages, at least between 2, 3, and 4. And so that's what I tend to do. I don't always do it between 1 and 2, but sometimes I do. So those are done. Put the water in there. Put in the tablespoon of borax. I like to use the borax here because I feel like it helps thicken up the slurry. Some people will use Dawn dish soap or finish cascade or all kinds of stuff that people use. If you're curious why people use different things, you can look that up. I use borax because I feel like it thickens up the slurry, and it does a decent job of helping it grind a little better. So I use that particularly in 3 and 4, but I'll also use it in 2, but I don't use it in 1. Anyway, so that's everything for this week. Sorry for the late upload today, but hopefully I'll be back to normal next week, and I hope you guys have a good week.